Good evening and welcome to the Galloway Township Board of Education meeting on this December 15, 2014. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Avery? Here. Mr. Carmen? Here. Mr. Gates? Here. Mrs. Evanson? Here. Mrs. Hollway? Here. Mr. Noor? Here. Mr. Schwenger? Here. Mrs. Cordera?
Here.
And Mr. Hubbard?
Here. At this time, I'd ask everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. George Schwenger.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In accordance with Public Law 231, notice of this meeting was provided to the press, the current, and the Galloway Township Municipal Building on the 11th of January 2014. First item this evening is approval of minutes of November 24, 2014. Has everyone had a chance to review them? Any corrections? Anything? You gave it to Tim, thank you, Mr. North. Can I have a motion to approve as presented then with John Moore's correction?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you, Mr. Schwenger. Reading communications, please.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, President Hubbard. We have one item this evening, and it is a letter from the District 9 legislators thanking the district, myself, and the board for assisting in facilitating the Galloway Township Hall meeting. It was held here in the GTMS cafeteria on November 25th, so I do have that letter. I will tell you that I have also written a follow-up letter back to the senator and assemblyman and assemblywoman, and they have actually requested some additional information from the district about the specific mandates and the money we have had to spend. So I am hoping there will be some follow-up, and perhaps that they will even come to the district to visit.
Are they going to be specific on how they're going to give us the money that they shortchanging us?
I cannot respond for them.
Yeah, they thought they did. Thank you. Presentations, please.
Yes, first of all, it is my pleasure to introduce Kiara David. She is the Vice President of Galloway Township Middle School Student Council. Welcome.
Hi. Hello.
So basically at the student council, we have done in the past 2 weeks, we did Johnny's Run, which was down in Smithville, and we helped out pass out water for runners. And that basically supports families that have a child with leukemia. And then soon we'll begin the winter clothing drive, and that's about it so far.
Well, that's nice. During the meeting, you can ask questions. I just ask that somehow you get recognized. Mrs. Avery, right next to you, will be more than glad to get my attention if you can. Okay? Just speak into the microphone. You can ask questions on anything that we discussed this evening, so please feel free. At the end of the evening, I will ask you some questions. I'll give you a heads up. One of my questions is going to be, do you run your meetings the way we run our meetings? So just be prepared for that one question. But seriously, during this time, if you do have anything, please feel free to ask. That's what we're here for. We like the free flow of information and exchange. We like to know what's going on in the middle school and how the students are doing. So we look forward to hearing from you during the course of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, President Hubbard. Our next presentation is recognition of board member George Schwenger for his dedication and commitment to the students of the Galloway Township School District for the past 15 years.
George, could I ask you to come out to the center? Don't drop it. Yeah, thanks. By word and deed, your presence has enriched the lives of students and has served as an example to all. To honor your service as Vice President and a member of the Board of the Galloway Township Board of Education, this year is awarded to Mr. George Schwenger for years of service from 1999 to 2014. On behalf of the Board of Education, the Township of Galloway, we'd like to award you this, George, as a token of our appreciation and our sincere thanks for everything you have done. And please don't get your fingerprints on them. You're going to get tired tonight, Jim, because... Now, hold on. I want Judy to come in here with George, please. Is this microphone in the way? Can you get it?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Here, do we hear? Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on.
One more. George, you're really smiling.
Hold on. Well, I want to do something special tonight, please. Can I have the whole board come in front? Can we have a group shot? We've never done this before, George, please. Come out front. We want to recognize you.
You went there.
Yeah, George. We gotta see how we can get it. Come on. Come on. Can you get it, Jim?
Yes, guys. Smile, guys. One more.
Before we all move, before we're going to do something else. While we're here, can I just pass this? Come on.
I looked at it in his hands, I don't really.
Okay. We're going to do this again, so before I get everybody to move,
Yeah.
we're going to do it to Rosie. So we're gonna have-
I have her first.
I know, we're just going to have everybody just stay right here. Rosie, let's come over here. This way the whole board doesn't have to move.
I'll get her first.
Where's Judy? And this is Judy, so please. Yes. There's a box. Yeah, you put it in your box.
Officially presenting it to them.
Yes. Let's get it. Back up there. Yep.
Smile again.
Now they came back to me, now they have to do it. Thank you so much.
Can you believe you never sealed that first kickball? Sometimes if you need We gotta get rid of these three of them back.
And continuing with our presentations, recognition of board member Rosemary Hollway for her dedication and commitment to the students of the Galloway Township School District for the past 10 years.
Want me to read out that? Well, you can in a minute. By word and by deed, your presence has enriched the lives of the students and has served as an example to all. To honor your service as a member of the Galloway Township Board of Education, we honor you, Rosemary Hollway, for your years of service from 2004 to 2014 as a member of the Galloway Township Board of Education in the Township of Galloway for service to our community. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
See, George, that's excellent.
Put this in the box.
It's what I do best.
I am smiling. See, they sold pine logs. Did they go to those places?
I got to tell everyone here, this is probably the first time that I can remember being on the board 15 years. Rich been longer than I have. That we've had two members with such a long, distinguished service to the township retire at the same time. You heard 25 years experience plus. We're losing tonight. We're going to miss both of you. And I do appreciate everything you've done. George, you've been by my side many, many years, serving as vice president. Thank you. Thank you again for help. I do appreciate Rose. You've been there through the tough times and all those tough decisions we had to make. I know it's been tough for you. We do appreciate with you working with the Four Seasons and everything that you've done. Beverly, that you have with us. We're going to continue to help with the Four Seasons. So we do look forward to that. But we wish both of you the best. We really do. We really, really do. And thank you. And obviously, you're always welcome to come back to our meetings. You don't have to watch them on TV.
Give one.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. You gotta go to the website, you're not.
YouTube button.
Yes. But, and Judy, thank you for letting us use George for the past 15 years. So we do need to.
They send it back after a week or so.
It's not going to happen.
So thank you very much. So we have a presentation this evening.
Yes, President Hubbard, we do. This is one of those presentations that is required in a certain time period by the state. So this is the district report of violence and vandalism for reporting period 2, which was actually last January to June. Board and members of the public that have come to a lot of board meetings will probably remember many years ago, this started what was known as the Electronic Violence and Vandalism Report, where every school and district had to report any incidents under certain definitions. And then when the anti-bullying legislation was passed, a second piece got added to this report that specifically deals with harassment, intimidation, and bullying. And we are now required by law twice a year to report on the data from these reports. And the data is aggregated for the entire district, and you will see in the slides that there is a 2-year comparison. As noted on the screen, in her role as district anti-bullying coordinator and other things that Marilyn does, this was put together by Marilyn Moore, who works with all the schools in implementing the rules and handling the reporting. I will say to you, when we get to the comparisons, you will see years where numbers change significantly, and sometimes board members or members of the public will say, well, what caused that or what happened? We don't always have an answer. Sometimes it just happens to be what occurs in a particular reporting period, different students that happen to attend the schools. So in terms of the anti-bullying and us doing this, here is the law that requires this report. And you're always reporting the previous reporting period. And this first section are incidents that do not include HIB or harassment, intimidation, and bullying. So the first category is violence. And I need to remind you, that is the list from the Department of Ed. It doesn't mean that any or all of those things happen, but we list the categories that the word violence includes as per the state. So as you can see, in 12-13 we had none of these incidents, and then in 13-14 for this second reporting period, there were several incidents. Because they are of this nature, they would have been included in board suspension reports. The second category is vandalism, and this is something where I'm pleased to say we have not had these types of incidents either during all of 12-13 or during that 13-14 second reporting period. Substance abuse, in the January to June last year, there was one incident. In the weapons incident category, in that second reporting period, year-to-year comparison, we did not have any. And then we look, there was no vandalism, so therefore there was no cost. This shows the different kinds of actions that were taken based on the nature of the incident. So it would be natural that because there were some incidents, such as a serious fight or a threat, that fell during that 13-14 reporting period, that there would be out-of-school suspensions. The more severe things require a more severe consequence. And then what other kinds of things were done because of these incidents? Whether it was something when a student was suspended to provide home instruction, maybe there was home instruction. In some instances, although not in these two reporting periods, a student might be placed in an out-of-district program. This tells us information about how many different students were offenders, how many different students were victims. Was the victim ever a member of the state? We then move into the HIB category. And in HIB, there's additional data that we need to generate in a report. So we don't just look at was a HIB reported, but we need to look at was it connected to a particular area? Was it an act of harassment, intimidation, bullying based on race or gender or one of the most popular things, although popular is not necessarily the best word, you see the phrase other distinguishing characteristics. All of the other bulletin items are what are known as protected classes under the law. HIB also includes this phrase other distinguishing characteristics. It could be people who wear red clothes all the time. It could be someone with blonde hair. Anything that when, say, a verbal comment or something that was done was considered to be HIB, if there was something that came out that was seen as a characteristic of the victim. Then, as reported by the students who were the victims or through the investigation of the incident, these were the effects. And these categories that are listed, such as insult or demeaned a student or group of students, or created a hostile environment, those bulleted categories are provided to us. We don't create those categories, but then in analyzing the reports, we have to take the information from the victim, from any of the witnesses, and see, do any of ours fit into those categories? We then look, you see that word mode. Was it a gesture? Was it something that was written, etc.? As you can see, verbal is the most frequent, much more than any of the other modes in our particular school district. What kinds of disciplinary action was taken? You could see, because of the nature of the situations, detention is the most common. The positive side of that is, that says, as you saw on the previous screen, there's not a lot of physical or HIB that's connected to a violent act. It could be one time a student saying something to another student based on that distinguishing characteristic, or gender, or race, etc. These are the remedial actions taken. One of the big pieces behind the anti-bullying legislation is what is done to address this. And that really looks at both the offender, or the aggressor as it's known, and the victim. What are we doing on the aggressor side to prevent that child from doing this to that same child or to other children? And then this gets into that for the victim. And again, these categories are provided by the state, and we have to match our reports and our actions to the list provided. So overall, what are we doing? Before I highlight a couple things on the list, I do want to say this. There are well over 3,000 students in this school district. So when you look at that numbers for that comparative reporting period, it is statistically insignificant. Obviously, to the child who was on the receiving end of the victim, it's very significant. But when we look at our overall school climate and culture and look at this, it's really positive from that perspective. At the end of every year, there are some surveys related to our bully busting program. There is follow-up discussion done, and there are tweaks to that curriculum. Every month, there is a meeting with the anti-bullying specialists who in our district are the school counselors, the assistant principals who work with the counselors in investigating the incidents, and with our anti-bullying coordinator. As needed, there's additional social skills lessons. Very often the counselors are in the classrooms conducting them. And as needed, we purchase materials. And some of that funding does come through a grant through the Municipal Alliance. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions or respond to any comments from the board.
Do we keep track of how many students are repeat offenders?
Yes, we do. Actually, the reporting form has a space on it where the administrator has to indicate whether that student is a repeat offender.
I think maybe a lot of these incidences are repeat offenders.
Some of them are. Most of our students learn from their mistakes. However, there's that small percentage that are the exception to that. And so obviously with those students, the consequences become stronger, and the intervention, whether it's more counseling, whether it's talking to the parent to take the child to outside counseling. If there's other issues with the student, it might be INRS or ultimately to the child study team.
So it's the same thinking, victims, we have repeat victims by different motives, there's a lot of ways that some people become victims in their own way.
Dave, I am pleased to say that we don't have a lot of repeat victims, but obviously if we do feel a student is being targeted by one or more children, that is addressed in a very serious manner. Some of our administrators will go into the classroom, say it's in a homeroom, and a student all of a sudden, for whatever reason, is being picked on more or is involved more. That's where additional measures are taken for both that child and any other student, even groups of students that might be involved. Anything from Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Giacomo. Let's move to the superintendent's report, please.
Thank you. The first item is the attorney's report, so I'll turn the microphone over to Mr. Capuccio.
Thank you. Number one, regarding student residency, no problems yet in the legal fashion. It should be brought before the board, at least at this time. Student matters in process. There are various matters regarding student behavior reported. No hearings yet. However, a new matter has arisen. I believe Dr. Giacomo will make the board aware of same. Disability rights, no action at this time. Construction, Mr. Galloway made you aware of the progress for the roof completion, etc. Nothing new has occurred regarding cost of construction permit review. We'll see what happens with that item. Personnel were concerned with a generalized allegation calling for response. We're going to try to get that into mediation. I talked to Mr. Murphy about it, and we're requesting mediation at this point. The allegations seem to be unfounded at this time. We'll keep the board appraised. School busing, basically running smoothly, but there has been problems, as you can see, that have been handled by administration. Mr. Keller's office noted the same in his report to the board also. Nothing contractual or further necessary at this time regarding those matters. That's all I have to report this time. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Capuccio. Any board questions on the solicitor's report?
Thank you.
No, thanks, Bill.
Thank you. The enrollment report in district as of the end of November, we have 3,262 students. If we add students at special services, any of the private schools, home instruction, charter or choice, it's 3,377 students. The out-of-school suspension reports for November are attached. Item 4 is the harassment, intimidation, and bullying report for the reporting period from November 20th through December 10th, 2014. That is also attached. And item 5 is to accept, modify, or reject the harassment, intimidation, and bullying report presented to the board on November 24th, 2014 for the reporting period of October 16th through November 19th, 2014.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to accept the harassment, intimidation, and bullying report that was presented on this board on the 24th of November for the reporting period of the 16th of October through the 19th of November, please? Thank you. Any board discussion? Any public comment? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Days?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson? Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mr. Schwenger?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Thank you.
Curriculum instruction, please.
Item 1 is a resolution to approve home instruction for the following students. The student number, the school, the dates, and the reason the student requires home instruction are all listed. Resolution 2 is to approve the following Stockton College occupational therapy fieldwork for the 2014-15 school year, and this is for the spring semester from February through April. Each of the Stockton students, cooperating teacher, or in this case an OT and a PT, the school and grades are listed.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve items 1 and 2 under curriculum instruction, please?
Second.
Thank you. Any board discussion? Any public comment? May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mr. Days?
Yes.
Mr. Schwenger?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard?
Yes. Thank you. Finance and school operations, please.
Yes, I'll turn the agenda over to Mr. Kelly.
Thank you. Item 1 is a resolution to accept the following food service reports. The profit and loss statement for the month of November 2014, trial balance report, breakfast and lunch cash sale, breakfast and lunch meal count participation, as well as special income detail. Item 2, a resolution to accept the investment reports for the month of, November 2014, in accordance with board policy. Item 3, a resolution to accept the board secretary's monthly certification budgetary line item status as of November 30, 2014. Item 4, pursuant to New Jersey Code, the Galloway Township Board of Education certifies that as of November 30, 2014, after review of the Secretary's monthly financial reports and upon consultation with the appropriate district officials, that to the best of our knowledge, no major account or fund has been overexpended in violation of code, and there have been no changes in anticipated revenue sources and/or amounts so that sufficient funds are available to meet the district's financial obligations for the remainder of the fiscal year. Item 5, a resolution to approve the cash and secretary's reports for the month of November 2014. Item 6, a resolution to approve the December bill list for the 14-15 budget. Item 7, a resolution to approve December transfers for the 14-15 budget. Item 8, a resolution to approve contracts with certain approved state contract vendors for the Board of Education for the 2014-2015 fiscal year pursuant to the New Jersey purchasing statute. Item 9, a resolution to approve the Alliance for Competitive Energy Services, or ACES, to award energy marketing to provide natural gas to the Galloway Township Board of Education beginning March 2015 for a 21-month term. Item 10, a resolution to approve submission of amendment number 1 to the 2014-15 NCLB, or No Child Left Behind, Consolidated Subgrant. This amendment is to include carryover from the 2013-2014 year. For each section, the total aggregate grant, including the carryover, is listed. Finally, the finance section, item 11, a resolution to approve the disposal and sale of the following fixed asset: a 1996 GMC Sierra pickup truck, current mileage 202,580 miles. The business administrator is authorized to obtain quotes for sale and/or scrap and dispose of the said asset in the manner that is in the best financial interest of the school district. Item 12, resolution to approve the student to attend Yale School in Atlantic County, December 8th through June 30. The annual cost and a one-on-one assistant cost also are listed. Those will be prorated. The budget account is listed. Item 13, resolution to approve the student to attend Atlantic County Special Services Maze Landing in the Multiply Disabled Program, December 2nd through June 30, at an annualized cost of $36,360. It will be prorated. The account is listed. And item 14, a resolution to approve tuition receivable of students for the 2014-15 school year. Each of these tuitions listed the student ID, the home district, and total tuition. The amount is prorated on the, based on the start date of the student. And finally, just an informational item, proposals for the architect of record for the district, as well as the health insurance broker of record. They will be received in the business office at 10 o'clock a.m. on December 23rd, 2014.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve items 1 through 14 inclusive under finance and school operations, please? Thank you. Mr. Nord, your finance committee meeting that was held earlier, how did it go?
It went very well. Sorry. We went over the December bill list and had a couple minor questions. The financial reports were in order, as they always are. A couple minor transfers, and none of that affected the 10% rule. One was that a student go to Atlantic City, so we transferred money from the Galloway charter school, which is the same account number, so it didn't really affect anything. We also talked about the receipt of RFPs for architect and health benefits services. That hopefully will, maybe save us some money and give us good service. We've always received good service, but we'll see if we can save a little bit of money. We also, the administration will be presenting a budget presentation to the board at the reorganization meeting, I think we said.
Right. Anything else? Rose, do you have anything on that?
I have nothing, John covered it all.
Rich?
John did it all.
And next month you did.
Who signed the checks this month? No, I was Timothy,
Sir.
under tuition receivable students, how do we get a student from Galloway, which is in Salem County?
It's one of two cases. It's either a student who is homeless under the McKinney-Vento Act, or it's a student that's been placed in the district by the Department of Children and Families.
Okay.
Otherwise known as diapers.
Okay, I was just curious, that's pretty far away.
We actually have some McKinney-Vento students from Wellington, I believe it was Kearney or another town.
Yeah, I think we got something from Bergen County. Okay, I was just curious. Is it Any other board comments? Any public comment on finance? Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Schwenger?
I abstain on number 6, the bill list. Attachment E8, page 14, purchase order 501820 and purchase order 501785, and yes on everything else.
Thank you. Mr. Days?
Number 6, bill list, I was abstaining. Page 3, PO number 500347. Yes on everything else.
Thank you. Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Hubbard?
Yes. Facilities and maintenance, please.
No action items this evening, just the informational item. The final roofing inspection occurred this past week. Mr. Bowley was up on the roof in the snow and the wind with the manufacturer. Everything went well, and we are awaiting the warranty information and finalized documents from the architect. I expect to receive them, I'm assuming before the holiday. But everything is in order, and then we'll be receiving information from the roofing consultant on any possible rebates that might be available to the district from the roofing manufacturer.
Thanks. George, you have anything you want to add from that?
No, other than we're pretty well finished with this project. We got new roofs on all our schools. I'll leave.
John?
Thank you. Community use of school facilities, please.
Item 1 is Friends United Now requests the use of the Life Skills Room at GTMS for an after-school social skills program, the Fun Club, on Mondays, January 5th, 2015 through May 18th, 2015, from 2:30 to 3:45 p.m. And as I wrote in the board bulletin, one of our retired teachers is volunteering her time and has formed this Friends United Now. She's met with myself, she actually met with Tim, Jim Gruffy. She, on her own, has paid to have her fingerprinting done. She has actually gotten donations from her church that is supporting this program. They're providing their insurance, and she's also been working with Mrs. Jumper to identify which students may benefit from this program.
Great.
Item 2 is Atlantic Youth Soccer has requested the use of the Arthur Rand Gym for youth soccer training on Tuesdays from January 6th through March 31st, 2015, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. And as noted, the majority of players are Galloway residents.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve items 1 and 2 under community use of school facilities, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any board discussion? Any public comment? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Days?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mr. Schwenger?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Thank you. There are 2 informational items. The Galloway Township Education Association will be hosting the District Wellness Fair, sponsored through an NJEA Pride grant. This year will be here in GTMS on March 19th. More details to come. And number 4, again this year, we are hosting the South Jersey Spelling Bee here in the cafetorium on March 28th, and the times are approximate. Again, more details to come about the exact start time of the bee.
Thank you. Personnel, please.
Yes, this evening, our first item is a resolution to accept, with regret, the letter of intent to retire from Carol Summers, teacher at Smithville Elementary School, effective June 30, 2015. Mrs. Summers has worked in the Galloway Township Public School District for 32 years, and her dedication and commitment to students and staff are appreciated by our entire school family. And I do have the letter if any of the board members are interested in seeing that.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve item number 1 under personnel, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any board discussion? I will say that I know her personally, and she taught my children who all attended Smithville. She's great. She's helped out on every activity I can think of that goes on in that building. So she'll be missed. So that's my 2 cents. Is there any public comment? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Schwenger?
Yes.
Mr. Days?
Yes, with regret.
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Hubbard?
Yes, with regret.
Thank you. Resolution 2 is to approve the family leave request from John McHale Maintenance Department. The dates are listed, as are the terms and conditions. Resolution 3 is to approve Andrea Stevens as a 5th grade teacher at Reeds Road Elementary School for the 2014-15 school year, effective December 15, 2014 through June 30, 2015. The salary, step, and degree are listed, as is the account. This is a replacement position. Resolution 4 is to approve Amanda Gruppy as a special education teacher at Pomona Preschool for the 2014-15 school year, effective January 12 through June 30, 2015. Again, the terms and conditions are listed. As indicated in the board bulletin, this is a new position based on an increase in 3-year-old students requiring special education. Resolution 5 is to approve Aaron Hartman as a 6th grade special education inclusion teacher at Reeds Road Elementary School for the 2014-15 school year, effective January 26th through June 30th. The terms and conditions are listed. This is a replacement position. Resolution 6 is to approve Kayla Harlan as a part-time 2nd grade resource center teacher at Reeds Road Elementary School for the 2014-15 school year, effective January 26th through June 30th. The terms and conditions are listed. This is a new position. Resolution 7 is to approve the extension of Stacy Allen as a special education MD teacher at GTMS for the 2014-15 school year, effective January 1 through March 21st. Terms and conditions are listed. This is an extension of a leave position. Resolution 6 is to approve the extension of Sinitra Gandhi as a secretary at GTMS for the 2014-15 school year, effective January 1 through January 31st. The terms and conditions are listed. This is also an extension of a lead position. Resolution 9 is to approve the following substitute teachers for the 2014-15 school year, effective December 16 through June 30, pending successful completion of the criminal history review. The various account numbers are listed, as is the name of each individual, whether or not the person is certified, and the daily rate. Resolution 10 is to approve the following substitute secretaries for the 2014-15 school year, effective December 16th through June 30th. The hourly rate and account are listed, as of the names of the individuals. Resolution 11 is to approve the following substitute custodians for the 2014-15 school year, effective December 16th through June 30, 2015. The hourly rate, account, and names of the individuals are listed. Resolution 12 is to approve the following teacher for supplemental instruction extension of the school day, parent IEP for a student beginning December 1st through the school year. The hourly rate and account are listed. That is an IPEA account, as is the name of the teacher. Resolution 13 is to approve the following teacher as a member of the District Evaluation Advisory Committee for the 2014-15 school year. Summer hours will work beyond the regular school day. The various rates are listed, as is the account numbers that can be used. This is a replacement position for Arthur Rand School.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve items 2 to 13 inclusive under personnel, please? Thank you. Any board discussion? Any public comment? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mr. Schwenger?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mr. Days?
Yes,
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Thank you. Before we move on with the agenda, one of our new staff members is here, so I'd like to introduce the principal of Reeds Road School, Dr. Bill Zappala.
Good evening, everyone. To my left, I have Aaron Hartman. Aaron Hartman is going to be a new resource center teacher in our 6th grade, which is a replacement position. And I'm pleased to say that Aaron comes to us by way of GTMS. Aaron actually was in the very first graduating class when this building opened. Erin is dual certified. She has a K-8 certificate and a teacher of handicapped children. So we're delighted to have her at Reed's Road, and we're certainly happy that she's going to be with us for the remainder of the school year.
Congratulations, welcome aboard. Did she have a speech, Dr. Savara?
I told her it was plannable, a minute and 10 minutes. And when we arrived, I asked her if she had it, and she thought I was kidding. I said, Mr. Huggard, never kid.
Is the speech about Dr. Giaquinto when she became middle school principal of the year that year when she was... No?
No. It is not.
That would be 15 minutes, President.
I think it's time for the next agenda item.
No, but anytime we hire a former student, it gives me an opportunity to go into the yearbook vault and see what the picture looks like.
I have them in my office. I didn't know you could go into the vault.
Thank you, Mrs. Huggard. Welcome aboard again. Thank you.
It's Amanda Vance.
Is she one of your students from Reed Road? No?
Her picture.
No.
Okay.
Thank you, and welcome aboard again. Okay, position description, please.
Yes, we have a resolution to approve the following job description, health services aide, and this is a second reading.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the job description for health services aide, please? Any board discussion on it? Any public comment? May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Days?
Yes.
Mr. Noor?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mr. Schwenger?
Yes.
Mr. Carmen?
Yes.
Mrs. Evanson?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Hubbard?
Yes.
Thank you.
Policy, please.
Yes, we have 5 policies this evening being recommended for approval on first reading. The first one is assessment of individual needs, and this is related to the new dyslexia law. The second one is local wellness and nutrition. The milk standards have changed, and we needed to change our policy accordingly. The third one is drugs, alcohol, steroids, and tobacco, and this has an addition of electronic smoking devices. The fourth one is electronic communication by school staff. No changes, but this was added to mandated policies. And item 5 is attendance, absences, and excuses. There are a number of changes in this policy based on changes at the state level, and upon the second reading and approval of this policy, this is something we will be communicating with parents, as well as reviewing the changes with our staff, particularly secretarial staff. The basic major change is, in the past, it was totally the district's discretion what was an excused versus an unexcused absences. Now, by law, in New Jersey, there are only 3 things that can count as an excused absence. A religious holiday from a list provided by the Department of Education, take your child to work day, and for high school students, 3 college visitations. Any other kind of absence is considered unexcused, but then the district, for the purpose of your own records, can further delineate a student who is truant or repeatedly absent without any note from a child who has a doctor's note or a family emergency. So there's only that excused or unexcused or present for the state register, and then separate records kept to help us determine, do we need to bring the child to INRS? Do we need to bring the parent in for a conference? Do we need to take the parent to court because of excessive absenteeism? So there's a lot of detail in this policy that is very important, and again, will be communicated to parents every means we have possible.
Thank you. Okay, can I have a motion to approve policies 1 through 5 inclusive, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Carmen. Oh, give me honest. Madam Chair, would you like to expound on this?
Just a little bit further on the attendance one on page 1. Brought forth that the state is, because of the Common Core standards, stressing attendance, which students who succeed and achieve Now, if you go on to page 2 at your leisure sometime, and thanks for highlighting the changes, everybody. The following unexcused absences are counted for truancy: family travel, performance of household or babysitting duties, other daytime activities unrelated to the school program, and leaving school without permission. And finally, on page 3, pupil must be in attendance for 162 or more school days in order to be considered to have successfully completed the instructional program. Students not meeting this requirement may be retained. Okay, so once they are absent, parents or guardians are notified by the automatic polling system, and then they also are charged with the patterns of absences, and again, personal contact by the principal or designee to follow up on this. So, very interesting reading and several cases. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
I'm assuming, based on this new policy, that some of our students will run the risk of being retained because they don't come to school.
It's interesting, Mrs. Avery, at the high school level, you have credit completion.
I know, not anymore, we have a new attendance policy, but
In the K-8, you don't, and
I
if a
know.
student is exceeding the number, we have to look at other information.
Right.
Has the student successfully passed all the classes, and various measures like that. So that's why it has the word may rather than the word will or shall.
right, but as we all know, regular school attendance is necessary for success. And unfortunately, some parents are the people responsible for not sending their children to school. A third grader doesn't make that decision.
That is correct.
I have one other question about the electronics policy. The staff, I'm not thinking of elementary school staff, but at the middle school, have they been advised about communication via Facebook?
Absolutely. In fact, not only did we go over the policy and send it out to staff, at opening day, I think it was last year, we were actually ahead of the state on this policy. Specific information was reviewed, and then at the building level, that is further reviewed about, obviously people can have Facebook pages, but about those cautions regarding friending students, texting with individual students, and things of that nature. And that is for the staff's own protection as well as for the students.
Very good questions. Thank you. Very good. Any other questions from board members?
One brief one on policy number 3, referring to drug, alcohol, tobacco, and we add electronic smoking devices. This is not only for students, it pertains to staff as well, I'm assuming.
That is correct.
Several schools have had problems with teachers thinking that it's okay because they're not smoking.
I'm not aware of that happening here, but this does fall under the no smoking, like other tobacco products.
Thank you.
What's the consequences for caught smoking in your car when you drink?
I don't know, Mr. Days, off the top of my head.
So you're not supposed to smoke when you smoke.
That's correct.
If you do loud, what's the consequence?
I don't have policy manual and regulation memorized in terms of staff member would do that. I can tell you, like any other situation, it would be progressive. The first time the staff member might be called in, and follow that process.
One other question about the drug, alcohol, steroids, tobacco. If a student is suspected of having it in their locker, I think I know the answer. Do we need a search warrant, or does the locker actually belong to the school where we can go in?
School personnel do not, the administration does not have to meet the same level of cause as the police. So if there is a reasonable suspicion, am I using the correct phrase, am I correct? It's not probable cause, it's reasonable suspicion. We do have the right to search the child's locker, their book bags, etc. That is correct. And there was a statement to that in the student handbook.
All good questions. Any other good questions? I'm not saying they're bad questions. Any public questions? Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Carmen? Mrs. Evanson? Mrs. Hollway?
Yes.
Mr. Dees?
Yes.
Mrs. Avery?
Yes.
Mr. Schwenger?
Yes.
Mr. Nord?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Huck?
Yes. Thank you. Notice of meeting.
Yes, January 5th, 2015 is our reorganization meeting, and you will notice there's no other meetings listed because at the reorganization meeting, the calendar is set for the rest of January through December. There are still 2 concerts remaining under special events, December 17th here at the middle school and December 18th at Ridge Road.
Great. Public comment? No. Let's go to, close. Do we have anything for closed session?
Did you not?
Bill? Closed session? You want anything? Okay. Then we'll go around the horn, as we traditionally do. This is the time where everybody talks about what they hear about since the last meeting, if they have something they need to bring up in public, so we all know about it. Things that were said on the soccer field or baseball, and things, the good things, that we've gone to events at the school where we saw something going on that we liked, we like to tell everybody. So at this time, I think I'd like to start with Madeline, who's sitting right next to you.
I sent some of my Amsterdam students to Arthur Rand for their drop and shop. They had a great time. They were happy to be there, and if there were any other opportunities like that, if you could let us know, we'd be happy to send some teenage volunteers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rich?
Well, welcome, Peter. Okay, make sure I got the name right. I want to thank Rose for her dedication to the school district. Very thank you. You will be missed. George, thank you very much for your service and everything, and you'll be missed also. And also, I just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Beverly?
I say goodbye with regret and respect for both Rose and George. Many happy memories of their collaboration and cooperation. I also say welcome to you and notice how well you were listening, so I can't wait to hear your closing comments. Good job. That's all.
Dave?
Again, would like to thank George and Rose on their service. As a new board member, it's nice to have people you can lean on. Sad to see you go. Wish you a lot of luck and hope to see you around the board meeting. And I can only wait for closing comments from our Vice President of ETMS, who's probably going to be a Susie Hook right now.
John?
Yes, I'd like to welcome Kiara also. Hope you enjoyed yourself and, compare us with how you do things. Just disregard my outlandish comments sometime. I would like to thank Rose for her service. She served with me on the facilities and negotiations, and I know you had some difficult times, but I wish the Phillies and Eagles would have the fire in the belly that you do. And George gave us a unique perspective with his over 80 years of living in the community. He became the Clyde Stockton of the facilities. Clyde came in with Moses, George followed. But George, you did a very excellent job with the facilities and also with the technology. And you added some spice when we did negotiations a couple times also. And I thank you for filling in for me the year I was president and missed some meetings. So good luck. Thank you. And I would like to wish everyone a happy and safe holiday. I hope the Cowgirls lose the game.
Thank you, John. Kiara? Your turn.
I just want to you everyone for watching. It's a good Monday night here. I just wanted to say that, again, we were at the shopping up as well, and we just want to know if you can, our advisor, Mr. Groominger, he just wanted to let you guys know if we could, if there are any more opportunities, just let us know, that we appreciate it. That's about it. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you're not, okay. Do you run your student council meetings like this?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's good. They're getting very good then. Mr. Crewmaker is doing a very good job and keeping everything under control. That's good. Is there something that you would like us to do more for your students? And don't say longer recesses or something, okay? Let them even have recesses in the school. Okay. Okay.
No, I think everything's good, and we all appreciate your work in our schools, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you get that down there, Mr. Collins? Can we replay that at every meeting so that we all go? Thank you. Rose?
Well, it's with a heavy heart that I leave. This has been a wonderful 10 years that I've spent in Galloway. And it's very difficult for me to leave all the friends that I've made here. You've been wonderful. But I have to do what I have to do. And I'm going to miss everything greatly, but I am going to come back and visit.
Please, you're always welcome.
Okay.
Thank you. George?
Well,
Now that I asked?
I have this page and a half, but I'm going to let it lie. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a safe and Happy New Year. I want to thank everyone who supported me these 15 years. With all the good work that this board has done in these 15 years, we've come a long way. Don't ever let anybody tell you this isn't one of the best school districts in New Jersey, because it is. Not only our administrators, but our total staff are excellent people. And you always want to remember this board. The most important thing you do is the people you hire to run your school district. Because this board doesn't run the school district. They run the school district. You just make sure that they run it properly. And on that note, I'll leave you. Have a good night.
George, thank you. Suzette?
Just kind of dittoing everybody's comments, Rose, and thank you so much for being a mentor, as a new board member. It was always nice to be able to ask me questions. George, as John said, added some spice.
Oh, we have.
You and I had spice, right? But thank you for your service, and it's always been appreciated.
I'd like to conclude this year thanking my fellow board members for your service. We worked long and hard. We didn't always agree, but that was okay. We worked through what we had to work through. We got things accomplished. We set our goals. I think the routes were one of the biggest things we've accomplished. We all agreed that had to get done, and we sat down, and we knew the cost, and we said we were going to do it, and we did. And I think that is a big accomplishment to the 9 people here, because we knew that it was going to cost the taxpayers, and we knew that we were going to take some grief for it, and we did it. And look at us today. They're done, and it's behind us. The students are in a safe, good environment, and that's what we needed to do. And that's what this board's about. And I said this once, I said a lot of times, that we have the courage, we've done it, we have the commitment, we've proven it. And George, I absolutely agree with you. There's not a better school district in the state of New Jersey when it comes to dedication than that this board doesn't stand behind the administration and show them how the job has to get done, and we do stand behind our administration. So I want to thank you for a good 2014, a great 2015 is on the horizon, and I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we have a new board member coming on, Mike. We wish you the best. Enjoy your holidays. And I'm very, very serious. You've got some big, big shoes to fill. with these two fine board members that are leaving. So, thank you. Oh, well, that's right, thank you. Dr. Jacob, just reminded me, we'll see you on Thursday for your orientation. So, is there anything else to come before this Board of Education in 2014?
I'd just like to expand on that. We couldn't have done what we did without Mr. Kelly's expertise
Oh, yes.
and our superintendent. I mean,
Oh,
they did
sorry.
an outstanding job, but especially Mr. Kelly finding the money we needed to do the roofs. So I just want to expand on that.
Yes. There's nothing else to come before this Board of Education this year of 2014. I'd like to ask for a motion to close this meeting.
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? The ayes have it. Good night.